Yo, welcome back to the channel. Kamusta sa inyong lahat? You remember when Zani was the biggest threat to your mental health in asteroids? Those were simpler times. Then enter Cartethyia and Lupa, version 2.4's dual-wielding harbingers of bankruptcy. Kuro saw you saving up 160 pulls for the anniversary and said, "How cute. Now, you're not allowed to save. No, no, no. These anniversary rewards, they're not gifts. They're bait. You're going to blow every last asteroid on these two until your pity is broken. Your wallet is crying and your soul is on cooldown. You are back to being the gacha bum that you always were." And in this video, we're diving into scarcity. Because let's be honest, folks, as a broke gacha goblin, you can only pick one. So, the real question is, who deserves your precious heartbreak-fueled pull? Let's kick things off with the tale of the tape. Starting off with Cartethyia, because nothing screams balance like a character with the powers of both a sentinel and a Trinodian. Zani walked so Cartethyia could fly. Literally, she might actually hover like a divine drone of death. You think you're safe on the ground. No. Cartethia's second form, Fleur de Lis, is what happens when elegance, aerial superiority, and probable tax fraud combine. She's going to rain down arrow erosion like it's a weather forecast for pain. All the while, dodging 99% of enemy attacks mid-air like she's doing synchronized ballet with your soul. And let's talk numbers. Not confirmed numbers, but let's be real. When the Lord demands, she's stronger than Jin Shi. She's going to hit like your regrets. Sure, Wuthering Waves usually doesn't inflate powers too much, but this isn't a usual patch. This is a make Chacona relevant, break the game a little, and laugh patch. Chacona basically exists to make Cartethyia into a one-woman ecosystem. Add in Aero Rover, aka the free-to-play enabler, and congratulations, you're running a team comp that makes enemies ask for mercy in Morse code. But what about team flexibility? Oh, how naive. While Zani needed Phoebe like peanut butter needs jelly, Cartilla might be fully self-sufficient. She's out there inflicting her own arrow erosion stacks like an independent woman who don't need no synergy. Except, she still has synergy with Chacona, Rover, Alto, and your hopes and dreams and everyone else's. Even Phoebe can jump in thanks to Rover's funky little debuff conversion hobby. But don't worry, if you don't pull Chacona, you can always pretend Cartethyia was meant to be a solo experience. Now, here's a question. Why the heck is Cartethyia a sword user when we all clearly saw her swinging a broadblade like it's her day job in her story quest? I mean, we are talking about 3 broadswords turned into a tiny-ass regular sword, right? Who exactly is making these decisions at Kuro Games? Because I'm starting to think someone over there is just playing choose your weapon with the staff and hoping we don't notice the absurd dumb effery meant to ruin our immersion. Up next, we have Lupa. The poor girl is dropping right after Cartethyia. It's like a band performing right after the main performers does their second encore. But don't count her out. Lupa is your high-risk, high-reward queen. You want your damage to scale with HP loss? Lupa's got ya. She's the adrenaline junkie DPS for people who like to live dangerously or simply just hate themselves. Lupa is like if Hu Tao's life support playstyle and Xiao's plunge till you die philosophy had an accidental love child that was then unceremoniously dropped into Solaris 3 by Paimon herself. To hide this scandalous affair, in the world of Teyvat. It's like the universe couldn't decide which chaotic damage dealer archetype to follow, so they made both. And let's be real, if Wuthering Waves and Genshin Impact ever decide to hold hands and do a crossover, Lupa will be the awkward, slightly terrifying, but oddly fitting bridge that links these two universes together, making the crossover somehow feel normal. Surprisingly, she also wields a spear-like weapon, visually reinforcing her chaotic energy and erratic style. Still, Kuro insists she's a broadblade user like Jian because clearly, gameplay labels and visual cues exist in alternative dimensions. She's shaping up to be the Fusion Burst DPS equivalent of a fireworks finale. She appears, nukes the entire timeline into next week, then vanishes before you can even say rotation complete, leaving Brant and Chang Li to sweep up the ash. In contrast to Cartethia's graceful aerial tyranny, Lupa is kinetic chaos incarnate. You pull Lupa if your dream cosplay involves being a missile with a personal vendetta. Oh, and she might drain her own HP to deal more damage, because why not? Danjin stands, this is your renaissance. Sure, you'll probably keel over mid-combo, but Brant might save ya, unless you bungle the parry window. Then, your phone's on a one-way flight to the nearest wall. But versatility? Surprisingly, yes. Lupa isn't just another mono-fusion gremlin. She could actually boost both fusion damage and basic attacks, giving her reach beyond your usual self-harming DPS setup and mono-fusion teams. Camellia can absolutely benefit, assuming you're deranged enough to try that synergy. Even if your Sanwa is off cosplaying as a support in someone else's comp, Lupa can still patch the gaps in your elemental setup and by extension in your rapidly deteriorating sense of self-worth. Who needs therapy when you have conditional multipliers? Now, we've arrived at the section where I tell you who deserves the honor of draining your wallets dry. But first, a shout out. Have you seen Meatball69's channel yet? If not, it's in the description. This man recently quit his job expecting a smooth 1-month turnover. Instead, he got terminated on the spot and is now roaming the streets like a nicotine-deprived philosopher looking for loose cigarettes and validation. Meatball69's origin story is practically a Greek tragedy. Polio as a kid. Check. Knee obliterated in a middle school food fight. You bet. The result? A walk so cartoonishly unique it might get its own emoji. Oh my god. Add a tragic backstory of personal losses and you've got the makings of a cult YouTuber. Fortunately, he just secured a new job with a signing bonus paid out in a tiny, sad 12-month increments. The catch? It doesn't start until next month. So while he's sitting in his echoey studio apartment playing landlord evasion on nightmare mode, give his channel a look. He's got absolutely bonker playthroughs of obscure horror games and screams like a man possessed by 5 different waifu ghosts. It's beautiful, it's tragic, it's top-notch content. Link is in the description. Now, back to the meta madness. So, who should you prioritize? Oh, that's cute. You think you have a choice? The only real answer is both. Because if you're not ready to go financially feral in 2.4, what the heck are you even doing? This is a gacha game, not a charity case. Cartethyia is elegance with an airstrike, and Lupa is chaos with a kill switch. Trying to pick one is like deciding whether you want your savings obliterated by divine wrath or kinetic despair. So yeah, pull both. Don't be poor. Work hard, be legendary. But realistically, if you're a sane person with limited pulls, Pick Cartethyia if you want a top-tier DPS who slides seamlessly into an arrow erosion team with Chacona and Rover, conveniently one of whom is free and the other is your financial reckoning dressed as a tavern wench. Cartethyia isn't just powerful, she's a future-proof menace, likely to dominate the meta well into 2026 unless Kuro decides to nerf gravity itself. Already packing Changli and Brant? Then Lupa rounds out your mono fusion dream team like a divine intervention is strapped with explosives. She's the holy spirit of nuke damage, descending from orbit to erase timelines. But here's the twist. She actually expects you to play the game with like timing, dodging, spatial awareness. If you're used to face tanking your way to glory, Lupa might be your villain origin story. Ultimately, version 2.4 isn't offering you a choice between stronger characters. It's delivering an ultimatum. How deep are you willing to dig into despair? Because no matter what, you're getting power crept with the precision of a financial hitman. Whether you agree or not is irrelevant. Your bank account is going to implode. Your stash of pulls will vanish into the void. And your life will soon revolve around rerun banner speculation while you subsist on instant noodles and regret. At least you've got waifus. And in this economy, that's more than most people can flex. They may drain your savings and emotional stability, but hey, at least waifus will never leave you when the meta shifts. So buckle up, empty those asteroids, and start drafting your apology letters to your landlord. Smash that like button if you're broke, subscribe if you're pulling anyway, and comment which character is going to ruin your pity more, Cartethyia or Lupa. Thank you so much for watching. Maraming salamat po, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.